are thrilled to have you back with us again tonight for the SCVTV Presents the OutWest Concert Series. We are honored once again to have Juni Fisher with us. This is her third trip to OutWest, and every one of them is magical and special. I always say that you're going to laugh, and you're probably going to have your heartstrings tugged at, because this is a woman who knows how to touch us and knows how to bring the West alive and right to our hearts. Please help us welcome the 2011 Entertainer of the Year, as honored by the Western Music Association, Juni Fisher.
She's riding the second, her foot hits the stirrup. Let her up, let her on, let her try. You'd think if I wrote it, I'd get the first verse right, but this whole thing is just, we'll just do her again. She's ready the second, she's paid up her entry. Let her in, wish her luck, let her by. Determined to ride what they draw her. Let her go, let her buck, let her fly. She hands him her saddle. They snap the bronc close to the blindfold pulled over his eyes. She pulls up her cinch, dodging stirrup and hoof. Let her go, let her buck, let her fly. She's riding the second, her foot hits the stirrup. Let her up, let her on, let her try. She hears herself saying, okay, let me have him. Let her go, let her buck, let her fly. That bronco's to sailing and jabbing the ground. He's a snake, he's a cat, and he's sly. And her spurs are a singing that Pendleton song. Let her go, let her buck, let her fly. Somewhere in the air, it all comes undone. That bronc leaves her fan in the sky. She'll be back tomorrow, black-eyed and grinning. Let her go, let her buck, let her fly. Could be it's the money, or maybe the buckle, or that good Hamley saddle is why. She'll come to the roundup till hell freezes over. Let her go, let her buck, let her fly. Let her go, let her buck, let her fly. Thank you. It is so good to be back here at OutWest. And thank you, Bobby, Jean, and Jim, for making this happen. And thank you all for showing up. You could be home watching mindless television. Nothing personal. Be watching reruns of The Bachelor, and you're here instead. So I'm glad you're here. Now, levels, is the guitar a little much back there? It's a lot for me up here, but you tell me back there. It's groovy with the vocals. Okay. I trust you back there now. If you tell me afterwards, well, it was really loud, I can't fix it after. So. Well, I live, I'm from Central California. I do live in Tennessee now. Don't take that out on me. Al Gore isn't my fault. Can I say that on TV? It's not my fault, but I live in Tennessee, and back home there's a little red horse who's the greatest little guy in the world. His name is Flipper. That's his barn name. His real name is Mach 2. He's 25 this year. I wrote this song for him when he was turning 18. True story. I saw a red horse run at the county fair. Watched him lose a match race there. He dumped his jockey at the start. That little red horse was a little too smart. But he jumped like a deer and ran like a cat. And I had to have a horse like that. A little red horse. Get on now. So I followed him round to the backstretch road, where dreamers, thieves, and losers go. And I asked if that horse could be bought. And they said soon as we get him caught. They says bred for speed to bring a heat. I said I've seen him buck, I'll buy him cheap. Bought a little red horse cheap. Well, that little red horse had enough of being raced and treated rough. He fought back because he could. I loved him because I understood. And there were days I almost gave him up, of course. In the end, I kept my little red horse. Well, it took a year to get him right. That horse could bluff and that horse could fight. Then one day he just came around, and he kept all 4 feet on the ground. We galloped everywhere we go. I looped the reins and I never say whoa to my little red horse. Get on now. Well, my little red horse had enough of being raced and treated rough. He fought back because he could. I loved him because I understood. And there were days I almost gave him up, of course. In the end, I kept my little red horse. Well, my little red horse just turned 18. He's still fast and he's still keen. My little red horse. He's not gentle yet. That's as good as he'll get. My little red horse, I think I'll keep him. My little red horse, hell, it's too late to sell him. My little red horse. Woo-ah! Ah, thanks. Yeah, I grew up in the San Joaquin Valley. My folks are farmers. My mom's still farming. She's 85 now and still farming and going gangbusters. We can barely keep up with her. And summer mornings, my dad would get up 4:30 so he could get out and get plenty of work done before it got to be 110 degrees. And that way he could justify coming home for lunch so he could watch Days of Our Lives. He never missed it. Well, he'd get up in the morning, sit in his rocking chair, and we'd hear him out in the living room in that rocking chair, and we'd get out of bed, and we'd go crawl in his lap for a little while before he went off to work, and he'd sing us a song. Sometimes it was Little Joe the Wrangler, and every time Little Joe's horse went over the dry wash and mashed him to death, we'd cry. And we'd say, oh, sing Little Joe. And he'd go, nah, you guys cry. No, we won't cry this time. And we did every time. But my favorite when I was about 4 was, oh, don't you remember sweet Betsy from Pike? Across the wide mountains with her lover Ike, 2 yoke of oxen and 1 spotted hog, a tall Shanghai rooster and an old yeller dog. Hoodle dang fall today, oh hoodle dang fall today, hoodle dang fall today, oh hoodle dang fall today. One day in my little 4-year-old brain, it all of a sudden kicked in that something had gone wrong on Ike and Betsy's trip. The rooster ran off and the cattle all died. Finally, the last piece of bacon was fried. I got discouraged and Betsy got mad. The dog wagged his tail and looked mournfully sad. And I said, but Daddy, the 2 yoke of oxen, they're okay. And he goes, that was the rooster ran off and the cattle all died. They were the cattle. They died. They died. Yes, they're dead. But the spotted hog, he's okay. And he said, that was the last piece of bacon. It was fried. I got worried about the dog, and he said, no, the dog wagged his tail and looked mournfully sad. I said, oh, thank goodness they didn't eat the rooster, did they? The rooster ran off, and the cattle all died. Oh, yeah. Well, where'd he go? He said, you do know this is just a song, don't you? I said, I know. But where did he said, well, see, now he had me. I was 4. He said, they called him, and he didn't come. So they went off and left him. They just left him. I knew how that felt because apparently my mom hadn't shared this information with my dad. She had left me at the hardware store 2 weeks before by accident. She probably did call the obligatory 3 times that a parent is required by law to call a child before they can legally go off and leave them forever. And I didn't show up. I came around the corner just in time to see that Chevy Impala station wagon going off down the road, and my older sister was leaning out the back window going, you know, she never said a word to my mom. Seemed like 2 hours, more like a minute and a half, though. My mom looked in the rearview mirror. There weren't enough kids, and she came back. I had to slide in beside my older sister, who leaned over and said, you know, she left you here because you're adopted. So I knew how that rooster felt watching him go off and leave him. And some decades later, it was time for the rooster to answer for himself. Well, I ruled the roost when we lived in Pike, till Betsy run off with her lover Ike. Ike run me down and caught me by the feet, ruffled my feathers and clipped off my beak. Threw me in a cage, I'm on top of the wagon, hitched up them oxen and set them to dragging. We picked up a pig on the way out of town. That yellow dog follows, he don't know where he's bound. Dang for the dido, we'll all starve to death. I won't crow in the morning, I'm saving my breath. Dang for the head of California. The dog and the pig, I can Betsy me. The dog and the pig, I can Betsy me. Of oxen are slow-stirring beasts, dragging us westward for weeks upon weeks. We choked in the dust and we drowned in the rain. Ike drives the wagon and Betsy complains that Ike is a fool, he don't need a wife. I've never been henpecked in all of my life. If I can get out, I go hide in the sage, but they keep a stick and a latch on my cage. Dang for the dido, we'll all starve to death. I won't crow in the morning, I'm saving my breath. Dang for the head of California. The dog and the pig, I can Betsy me. The dog and the pig, I can Betsy me. They camped on the brazos one hot summer night, passed round the whiskey and Betsy got tight. She whooped and she hollered and danced across the plains and showed her behind to the whole wagon train. They finished the last of the bacon last night, and Betsy is watching me, sharpening her knife. She opened my cage, and I sat really still. Then I flew at her face and I ran for the hills. Dang for the dido, I flapped and I ran off, crow in the morning as loud as I can. Ooh, dang for the head of California. That old yeller dog, I can Betsy. And and not me. I'm going to take just a second and get out of this guitar. When I was doing research for the album Let Her Go, Let Her Buck, Let Her Fly, I spent a lot of time at the National Cowboy Museum in Oklahoma City. They have a wonderful archive down in the basement that covers the whole surface of the museum. And what I wanted into were the Bonnie McCarroll files. Bonnie McCarroll was a lady bronc rider in the early 20s up until her death in 1929 at the Pendleton Roundup. And remarkable lady, and what she had left behind were scrapbooks and articles and 900 of her personal photos, and that's what I wanted into, was those personal photos, because as a historian, it's easy to find out when someone was born, when they died, who they married, what their middle name was, and, blah, 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 blah. Who cares? That's not what I was looking for. What I was looking for was, who was this lady? Who was Bonnie McCarroll? Who were her friends and who weren't her friends? You can tell a lot about somebody by who they hang out with, and it's real easy to figure it out when you start looking at someone's photos, and here's why. You usually won't be photographed with people that you don't hang out with. You will under pressure, but here's what happens under pressure. When you're photographed with your girlfriends that you love, ladies, you know this whether you know it out loud or not. When you're photographed with your girlfriends you love, you unconsciously put your hips together. When you're photographed with someone you don't know or someone you don't think is a very nice person, you tip your hips away. So I started seeing this pattern in all these rodeo gals, all these lady bronc riders, hips this way, and always towards the same people and away from the same people. So I figured out really quick. I knew Bonnie was very ladylike. When she was photographed with the Wild Girls, she'd stand there and smile, but she'd tip her hips away every single time. So I made some notations about that. That was interesting to me. And I noticed, the kind of people that she always wanted to be with in those photographs. So I was talking with my dear friend Patty Clayton about this. And Patty is a wonderful singer in her own right. And I owed Patty a duet. She had written a duet for me on an album a couple years back. I said, Patty, I owe you a duet. We're going to do a duet on this album. I'm going to write something just for you about cowgirls that rodeo together and they get along, and sometimes they look out for each other and sometimes they don't. And Patty said, are you going to put a verse about that time you walked all the way through the Dallas airport with your skirt tucked in your underwear? I said, that'll be your verse, sweetie. So obviously Patty isn't here, but what I'll do is I'll kind of rock back, and when I come back, I look like Patty Clayton, which is 4 inches shorter, different hair, different voice, and entirely different clothes, but you're smart people, you'll figure it out. So here we go. Well, I rolled into the roundup on the last train, and I saved the seat for you, but you weren't there. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I came in the night before. I took your feller to the dance, hope you don't care. Well, that's what cowgirl friends are for. That's what cowgirl friends are for. One cowgirl friend like you, and I don't need any more. That's what cowgirl friends are for. Well, I was mighty tired from all that dancing, and your good trick riding saddle was a mess. Yeah, it was mighty kind of you to shine it for me. I mistook floor wax for your saddle soap, I guess. But that's what cowgirl friends are for. That's what cowgirl friends are for. One cowgirl friend like you, and I don't need any more. That's what cowgirl friends are for. When you accidentally went out with your skirt tucked in your drawers, it was me who let you know you were exposed. Yeah, but that was at a rodeo. We walked around all day, and you waited till the last event before you let me know. But that's what cowgirl friends are for. That's what cowgirl friends are for. One cowgirl friend like you, and I don't need any more. That's what cowgirl friends are for. Don't forget the time let you use my lipstick. I had no mirror, so you helped me put it on. I guess I should have told you it was purple. And I looked like liver lips till it was gone. We cowgirls gotta look out for each other. Our friendship never breaks, but it sure bends. But mischievous is different from malicious. That's why you're my favorite cowgirl friend. Well, that's what cowgirl friends are for. That's what cowgirl friends are for. One cowgirl friend like you, and I don't need any more. One cowgirl friend like you, and I wouldn't want one more. That's what cowgirl friends are. That's what cowgirl friends are. That's what cowgirl friends are for. Well, so my husband, Rusty, is from Missouri. I probably don't need to say more, but I will. He is very, my friend Sue, who's here, knows him well. He is very straight-laced, straightforward, and he is from Missouri, the show me state. Everything has to make sense in Rusty's world. How he is married to me baffles me. I don't know how he does it, but he manages, but things still have to make sense to him. He has to look at the Weather Channel to see if it's raining. I go outside. If I'm wet, it's raining. And I come back and I go, it's raining. He goes, well, just let me check. I'm telling you, it's raining now. So I was loading up last year to go out on tour, and he said, oh, you're taking a ukulele? And I said, yeah. He said, what do you do? What do you sing with that? And I go, Cowgirl Friends. And he said, isn't that a duet? And I said, play for smart people. They can figure it out. He said, you're going to take a ukulele all year to do one song? And I said, no, maybe I'll figure out something else to do with ukulele. And he says, well, what are you going to do, Hawaiian music? And I said, no, Mr. Smarty Pants Missouri, maybe I'll play the blues and just shred it. And he said, baby, you can do a lot of things, but I don't think you could play the blues on ukulele. Take that, Bonnie Raitt. Woman, be wise and keep your mouth shut. Don't advertise your man. Don't sit around gossiping, saying what your good man can do. 'Cause some women out there, Lord, they ain't no good. They'll slip around and try to steal that man from you. Woman, be wise and keep your mouth shut. Don't advertise your man. Now your best girlfriend, she might look like a highbrow, and she'll go change her clothes 3 times a day. What do you think she's doing now? Why you so far away? She's loving your man, that's what she's doing. In your own damn bed, you better call up a doctor, sister, and investigate your head. Woman, be wise and keep your mouth shut. Don't advertise your man. Don't be a fool. Don't advertise your man. So there. So last year, Rusty actually was out with me on the road for about 4 days. That's about as much as we can do that. No, he's great, but he has his own job, and so I bring him out when I've got off time, and we go fish, and then I go on, take him back to the airport, and he goes on down the road and goes back to work, and I go back to work. So, but last year, he came out, he goes, "Oh, you can do the blues. That was pretty cool. So is that all you're going to do?" And I said, "I'll come up with something else, like, a little like a Western swing." He says, "On the ukulele?" And oh, honey. Yeah, I said, "Yeah, I can do that. I can come up with some, something swing, like a Cindy Walker song. So let's do one." Oh, it's all your fault if I'm not playing and having. That's all your fault if I'm not sleeping and having fun. And yeah, that's fault. How's it go, Marilyn? Oh, it's all your fault if I'm not eating and having. And how's it go, man? Oh, it's all your fault if I'm not sleeping and having fun. And if I'm eating all by myself, well, it's all your fault. Oh, it's all your fault if I'm not playing and having fun. And if I'm staying all by myself, well, it's all your fault. When you said that we were through, I tried to find somebody new. I found out that wouldn't do, 'cause I'd rather be alone than with somebody new. Oh, it's all your fault when I'm a grandma. If my grandkids don't call you grandpa, I'll just tell them that it's all your fault. How about Louis Armstrong? Oh, it's all your fault if I'm not sleeping, living on dreams instead of eating. I'm just a wreck, and it's all your fault. Ethel Merman. Oh, it's all your fault if I'm not playing and having fun, and if I'm staying off by myself, it's all your fault. When you said we were two, I tried to find somebody new. I found out that wouldn't do, 'cause I'd rather be alone than with somebody new. Oh, it's all your fault when I'm a grandma. If my grandkids don't call you grandpa, I'll just tell them it's all your fault. Oh, take a look at yourself. It's all your fault. We went to this show and it was supposed to be Western music. That goofy gal played wait till you hear my rock and roll accordion. Weird Al got nothing on me. Thank Bobby Jean and Jim and Jency for making this all happen, and get your cell phones out and tweet like crazy. Here's where I am, where are you? And thank you, SCVTV, for being here and filming this. This is just wonderful that you do it. We buried me mother when I was 17. Said goodbye to County Kilkenny. Then me brothers and me sailed for America. When I left Ireland behind me. Galen and Sean were fighting Irish lads. They joined the Horse Soldiers' Army, and I did the laundry for the officers and cats. When I left Ireland behind me. Don't take me wrong, I left Ireland by choice. I will miss Ireland forever. I made a soldier, he seldom is around. A boy and a red-headed daughter. She stands by the river and wonders where it's bound. While I watch his clothes in the water. So don't take me wrong, I left Ireland by choice, but I miss the bloom on the heather and Turururura in me mother's sad sweet voice. I will miss Ireland forever. I will miss Ireland I'm going to do something that's pretty new. I wrote this in, I think February. I was home for a little bit, maybe the end of February, or well, maybe it was early in January. I don't remember. I was home. I remember I was home when I wrote it. That's how I remember, because it was rare, because I was home. But I have reconnected with some of my girlfriends from my reined cow horse past, and as my friend Sue knows, Sue knew me in fox hunting and eventing days, but in years past I trained reined cow horses, and I've reconnected with some of my old cow horse girlfriends, and they have reminded me of our mentor, a guy named Greg Ward, who inspired us and made us work hard and made us understand what the horses were about. And I wrote this as part of a tribute to Greg. This will be on an album in the future. There is a new album that will be available next week. You can pre-purchase it tonight. It's called Secret Chord. And but this one will be on one that I'll do later in the summer. So for the girls, it's a song, it's a horse song, and it's for those who understand. And I know there's some here. It's a way of our kind to do as we're told. Our nature says run, but we're taught to be bold. But if you were the horse, and if I could ride, I'd want you to know we're on the same side. So for once, would you try to hear what I hear? See the world through my eyes, not just through my ears. This horse has a voice. Don't you see something's missing? I'd give you my all if you would just listen. I don't know how to whine, For once would you try to hear what I hear? See the world through my eyes, not just through my ears. This horse has a voice. Don't you know something's missing? I could give you my all if you would just listen. There are days when we work so easily through all the confusion that gets in our way. We work in harmony, you lay your hand on me and assure we've had a good day. And I love how you try to hear what I hear. See the world through my eyes and not just through my ears. This horse has a voice. Now you know what was missing. And I'll give you my all, 'cause you learned how to listen. I'd give you my all. Thank you for listening. Ah, thank you. You know, I'm going to do one just for you, Sue. This is a song that I do. I do it on my regular concerts, and once in a while I'll throw it in at a festival if it's an audience that I think will get it. And if they don't get me, that's okay. I really don't care. Yeah. But it is my favorite Leonard Cohen song. And my very dear friend Dave Stamey and I have a challenge that we do when we're playing. And we play festivals a lot together, so we have a challenge. If I go out and do this one, then he has to come out and do his favorite Leonard Cohen song. And sometimes I come back off stage and he goes, I was not going to do that tonight. I go, well, you have to do it now. So, I did record this on my my new album, which is called Secret Chord. And Dave and I agree that this song it is not religious, and it is not sacrilegious, and it is not irreverent. It is not about hallelujah at all. It is about the frustrations of being a wordsmith. And just when you think you've got it all figured out, that you know how to do what you're doing, it'll jump up and bite you in the rear. And it'll say, oh no, you don't have me at all. Reset these a little bit. I just put new strings on. By the way, I use Elixir strings. I can do an ad here. I use Elixir strings. I put them on this afternoon. Sue will attest, and I gotta say they're holding pretty well. I heard there was a secret chord that David played, and it pleased the Lord. You don't really care for music, do ya? It sounds like this, the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. through ya. She tied you to a kitchen chair. She broke your throat. She cut your hair. And from your lips she drew hallelujah. 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 Above, but all I've ever learned from love is how to shoot somebody who outdrew ya. It's not the cry you hear at night. It's not someone who's seen the light. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 Well, I did my best, but it wasn't much. I tried to feel and I tried to touch. I told the truth, I didn't come to fool ya. I see your name on the marble arch. Our love is not a victory march. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. 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 Leonard Cohen. Another song that is on the new album, Secret Chord, is one that one of my dearest friends in this business is the cowboy poet and humorist Waddy Mitchell, a wonderful, wonderful guy. And a couple years ago, Waddy and I sort of locked ourselves away for a couple of days up at his place up outside Elko, Nevada, and we spent a few days writing, and we came out still friends, which is not easy because poets and songwriters together, it doesn't always work. But we came out friends, and we said, okay, you know, we got to start on some things, but we'll have to come back to this and work this out. So it was not very long ago. I'm going to say it was last October or so. I was out there that way, and I said, okay, I'm going to be out for a while, and I've got a few extra days. He said, come on up. We're gonna do it again. So we locked ourselves in the house for 4 days. We didn't even ever go outside. And we just locked ourselves up, built a big fire, had 6 notepads, and and we wrote, and we came out with 6 songs that we were very proud to have written, and this is one of them. And well, we wrote this for the people who have a gift, and they are somehow required by the laws of nature to go out and share that gift. One little bird lessens its wings when by its nature begins to sing, much like the poet with his poem transcends his station, his flesh and bone. It's who they are. The painter knows his gift of art is how he shows what's in his heart. The horseman's touch through calloused hand whispers a bridge between horse and man. It's who they are. It's who they are. It's why they breathe. It's all they hear. It's all they see. It is a gift. It's not their choice. They didn't ask to be our voice. It's who they are. So when God sends inspiration to share these gifts on earth, then who are we to wonder if those gifts have any worth? If not for them, where would we turn? They fill a need. When will we learn? It is their gift. It's not their choice. They didn't ask to be our voice. It's who they are. It's who they are. It's who they are. Waddy Mitchell. I want to thank you folks all so much for coming out tonight, and thank you, Bobby, Jean, and Jim, for making your space available to us, and to my special friends, all of you who have come out. I get to do the most fun job in the world. I drive around and saddles and hats and guitars and ukuleles, and I play off-kilter songs, and I'm having a great time. And next year, who knows what I might be playing. But I feel very, very lucky that I get to do what I do, and it's because of you that I get to come out and do this. And thank you so much for coming out tonight to take part. I'm going to close with this song was the 2011 WMA Song of the Year. Well, the devil combed the horse's tails that morning and dragged his evil fingers through their mane. And the riders in the pens ain't got no warning. They'd all be drawing zeros by their name. They'd all be drawing zeros by their name. Well, a roughneck kid from Colfax had entered, swapped his wife's gold tooth to get the dough. And he looked like hair and baling wire and splinters when they got him on a bronc and let him go. He could ride, oh, he could ride. That day spurred the when they saddled up and went out on their way. Then Yak bought a diamond from the pawn man, had it mounted on the tooth and paid the loan. Pressed that diamond-studded tooth back in that gal's hand. He said, "Kitty, that's for interest, let's go home." He could ride, oh, he could ride. That day spurred the devil right out of that horse's hide. Oh, he could ride, oh, he could ride, ride, ride. My God, that Yakima could ride. Woo-hoo! Oh, Kitty was wild. She could drink and she could brawl. Lucky for old Yak, she didn't shoot too good. And Yak kept riding broncs till it nearly rode him off. Then he split the sheets with Kitty and he went to Hollywood, where he could ride, oh, he could ride. Yakima Canuck could spur the devil off a horse's hide. Oh, he could ride, oh, he could ride, ride, ride. By God, that Yakima could ride. Woo-hoo! Thank you all so much for coming out. Thank you, SCVTV. Thank you. Woman, be wise and keep your mouth shut. Don't advertise your man. Don't sit around gossiping